And here we come to the final issue of Strange Tales that I have in my little trio. It is number 14, and it features two completely separate stories of Doctor Strange and Cloak and Dagger. Let's get into it. This issue was presented back in May of 1988, and of course it came out 3 months prior to that. Well, if you remember from the last two issues, we are trying to keep Punisher from destroying Cloak and Dagger. He caught up to them before they could. Cloak's not going to give up. He jumps down, but he's also extremely tired, miscalculates. Punisher moves out of the way, making Cloak not really, powerful enough to stop him. Then Julie gets in the way, and she's not really happy with him. Don't you hurt one of my friends. And the other girl gets involved. Actually, I think I got them backwards. Katie and Julie. No. It's the same girl. She's just making him cough while Katie comes in and does the little lightning thing. And then brother, whatever, Mike, comes in with his very Irish accent. And he puts down his gun. He's like, look, if a priest and kids are protecting them, obviously they're not bad. He just wanted to come and check out a story that the scum was telling them, because he knows that scum can lie, and he just wanted to verify it. He's like, good, now I'm out of here. And then Katie says something like, well, if you really are uncle, then tell me some kind of story. He tells her, and whatever. I don't understand that one. And then Dagger's dad shows up, and right whenever Punisher was really going to leave, and like, I'll judo chop you. He's like, calm down, it's over. And they're about to go to somewhere. Let's see where they're going to go. Oh, well, we get interrupted by Kingpin. Kingpin gets a little note from, guess who? Saying, yeah, I don't appreciate what you did right there. Then we go back to this detective, Rusty Nails, and evidently this was one of her friends, and she's going to pay the rent for her apartment for 3 more months while she's outside crying because she knows it's like futile. She can't come back from being mayhem. Here we have, this is what we're going to do. She's going to go find him a place. Actually, there's an apartment free where the Powers are staying. The Powers are, of course, the Power Pack. She's talking to him on the phone, her stepdad, but she's going to go do one more thing. She's going to go visit the priest. So she's like, what do I call you now? Mr. Delgado sounds strange, doesn't it? Well, I guess Francis will do. You look well, Francis. I've been better in a very long time. She's basically just giving her pleasantries. Then she's like, well, time's up. She's like, he's found his faith again, but in something different. Yeah. Looks like he's turned to the dark side. Meanwhile, we're having a birthday party. And whose is it? And he's like, well, I want a piece first, Jack says. Birthday boy ought to go first, Jack. So it must be Alex then. And they put the cake down. Who's going to blow out the candles? 2 kids volunteer. Oh, it looks like the birthday of a hamster. Okay. So there's there's Dagger and her stepdad. And they're just hanging out, having a birthday party for some hamsters. I'm still not sure if the family knows about their powers because they're grounded for coming in late one night. Do they know that their kids have superpowers? That's what I can't remember. While they're having a party, I think it's Julie walks down the hallway full of books. Wow. And I brought you a piece of cake. He's like, well, I don't need to eat. And he's like, it doesn't mean you can't. I said, I'll try. Oh, it tastes good. And then she pulls down a book and begins to do something wonderful. She's trying to teach him how to read. So evidently Cloak never had a chance to finish school or to fully learn how to read. And he's sounding it out. Miss Mischief. All right, now we're down to our Doctor Strange story, which, so it just reminds me of Dragon Ball, how they're powering up. It's just like, I don't know. This is one of the reasons I hate some sci-fi is because it's just too strange for me. I'm not being strange, like that strange. He fights the big old eye, and during their conflict, he's like, well, one of the things you got to know, if you're going to drain my power, you're going to eventually become me, according to Nietzsche, and blah, blah, blah. And then he talks about, prizes. Cash. Which one would you rather have, prizes or cash? Well, nowadays, I'd rather have some of these things. Let's see if there's any really cool video game systems in here. What is that? The mini study lamp. Okay. All right. Anyway, so they're fighting, and here's where he coaches Nietzsche. The earth philosopher Nietzsche said, "He who fights too long with dragons becomes a dragon himself." Okay. See, they're just fighting and talking and fighting and talking. And it's like I don't feel like I'm learning or enjoying this. But here we go. He's showing them the planet Earth. He's like, well, I know that planet. He's become lost in his acquiring other people's powers and therefore souls, I guess. He's going to torment the people on the earth before consuming. He's like, no, I'm the person who protects this earth. And during the fight, here's one thing I thought was weird. He says, and Talisman, the sometime member, that's Shaman. Talisman's the girl that's his daughter. At least I think it's his daughter. It's been a while since I read an Alpha Flight comic book. But it says, and Talisman, the sometimes member of Alpha Flight. Unless that's a girl, that's Shaman. So I remember Talisman wore something a little more female, and those muscles look a little bit too male for her. So I'm a little confused unless I'm completely in a different universe. I remember Shaman being the dude and his daughter being Talisman or niece or whatever. I can't even remember at this point. All right, so they're talking about all the other people who are being afflicted by the energy, the magical energies that are coming off of this whole battle. And of course, Doctor Who wins. He basically destroys the monster, saving the world, and he's got one last thing to do. Picks up a shard and plunges it through his heart. So there we go. The Doctor Who amalgam killed himself at the end after he got finished, probably so he wouldn't become the Star Road guy, whatever his name is. The Path of Shiva. I don't know what his name is. It's some crazy name, like Pikachu or something. I don't know. And then we have our free offer for your climbing off the walls. Oh, some video games. Free? No, he's not free. That's Dr. Octopus. Oh, you get some free comics by ordering some. Oh, okay. Let's see, which issues do you want now? Is there anything new on here? I don't see anything. And then we got Top Secret. It's a new TSR game that's not about fantasy. It's more about spies. Well, anyway, so which one's your favorite between the two? Is it my favorite, I'm just going to tell you right now, is obviously about Cloak and Dagger. Not so much about the Punisher being there, but whatever. He doesn't turn out to be as big as a bad guy as I thought he'd be. Then Doctor Strange, I like Dragon Ball. I hated Dragon Ball Z because it was like they kept powering up and powering up. Like, this whole episode is just them powering up. This is stupid. It's such a waste of time. So anyway, which one's your favorite story? And let me know below. Give me some comments. Have a great day. Unless I'm not on Earth anymore.